Hi, welcome to another Lemonade series. I'm here with Lynne Forrest and I'm Jaquetta. And today I would like to talk a little bit about stress and the critical mind. I noticed last week, or this past week, that I was feeling stressed. And um, stress is not something new, but I noticed that I was a lot more critical of people that I love, and that I'm not normally very critical of. I noticed that just kind of creeping in and a lot of negative thoughts and grumpy behavior on my part. And I started to become aware of it. And I thought, wow, um, there's something going on here. I need to just step back and learn and kind of notice what's going on with me. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about that today. Lynn, what would you like to say on that?
Well, we just got through doing a little lemonade series on depression, and this is sort of goes along with that in terms of this thing that we do of telling ourselves if we are out of sorts, if we are grumpy, if we are it's the acronym HALT: hungry, angry, lonely, tired, that is so popular in 12-step arenas that when we that spell halt, that say these are the signals that that it's time to halt, to stand back from, to rest, to take care of ourselves. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and that is what creates stress. Stress is very much about that place of pushing ourselves beyond limits, and we start feeling bad. And remember, our feelings are our guidance system. They're what tell us when we're out of alignment, out of sync. um, and if we see it as being signaled that there's a need for adjustment here, that there's need for rest, that it would be a good thing if I just took a break. I certainly feel this. Then, rather than seeing it as a problem, rather than making it what's wrong with me, and then we get more grumpy and we get more frustrated and we get more stressed, and then we start to use it as justification for our unhappiness. And I'm stressed out, and so this and that somehow validates or justifies my right to be grumpy and irritable and negative, and we begin to justify it in that way, and that is us turning stress into a problem rather than taking it as a signal that, wow, I am noticing that I'm frustrated, or so this would be a good time to take a break and to do something I really want to do, to enjoy, to meditate, to take a short walk, to take a nap, to listen to some music, to do something to break that so that I can refresh and relax a minute and come back fresh. And so it's all in the way we see it. When we begin to befriend these things, we use them as pointers that are suggestions and helpers that are giving us the signal that it's time to take care of ourselves in some way. And to me, that is how we move from seeing the world through a lens that says it's a problem. I'm stressed out and that's a problem. And now that justifies more problematic behavior, etc., versus this is a signal, not a problem. It's a signal that I'm out of alignment right this minute, that it's time to rest, that my body's ready for a break, that that it's time to bring a positive uplift into my frequency vibration rather than go on denigrating myself and denigrating the world around me because it's not up to par. So
Yeah,
that's the attitude right there that we want to move towards.
you're exactly right. And that's what I ended up doing of course, and it was fortunately, it was nighttime when I really came to me that, wow, I am extremely grumpy and critical of everyone. And that negative mind chatter that I was noticing, and knew it wasn't true because that's not normally how I feel about anyone. Um, and so then I decided I needed to take care of myself, get some rest, kind of take it easy, give myself a break when I could. Um, and I watched a cartoon movie that I enjoy watching those sometimes, and gave myself some downtime, and I felt much better the next day. And the day after that, I felt a lot better
Mm-hmm.
and was my cheerful self again. I
Mm-hmm.
think the very next day, I was just kind of moving slow, being tired, taking a break, but I was no longer grumpy. I was just kind of
Mm-hmm.
resting, and um, I felt much better, and I felt better about everyone around me as well when I took care of myself and decided to make myself a priority and make rest a priority, because I think that's what I really needed. I must have.
Exactly. That is it, and that's you taking the cue rather than dissing yourself for being frustrated in the first place. We are human, that this is what we do. And especially when we have a belief system that says, I'm never supposed to be that. I'm always supposed to be at the top of my game, or I'm always supposed to, yeah, be at the top of my game. And that's not always true. It's not always the case. I'm a vibrational being, and I'm affected by the thoughts I think and by the things that happen around me that trigger the thoughts that I think. And so making that conscious and using these emotions, these feelings, as a way to put my finger on what it is that I'm stressing over. What belief am I laying on myself? And it must be an untrue one, or I wouldn't be having such a negative reaction to it. Because when I'm really in touch with who I am as an extension of creator source energy, then there's no sense of worthlessness about that. Knowing that of where I come from and of what I'm made, and therefore everything is either mirroring and reinforcing that remembering, or a thought that is taking me away from it. And when I'm thinking a thought that's taking me away from remembering that, I'm going to feel stressed. I'm going to feel depressed. I'm going to feel frustrated, and all the things that go with being out of alignment with who I am. So the message is return, return, and that means change the station and tune into something that is of a higher vibrational quality, so that I can return to remembering who I am.